Have you ever caught yourself looking for validation? Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sebastian, and if you're new here, I talk about personal growth and self development. So, when we don't have that validation, we search for it, and our identity solely relies on others' opinions. I had this problem before, and I remember it was really hard to deal with because it's the same thing. I didn't really have that validation from anybody, and I didn't approve of myself, right? I didn't really, look towards that. So I've had this happen to me a while back. I remember that I would always seek validation. I would always search for it because I didn't know how to give it to myself. I remember a lot of it had to do with social media because I would see something that I didn't have. Let's say I didn't have, clear skin, because I don't really have clear skin at all, right? I remember it used to be so bad that I would always compare myself to others who had basically perfect skin. Little by little, I stopped looking at, others' perfect skin, right? I started to focus on my own. Instead, I did some research. I went to a dermatologist and, I figured out what works for me. So validation actually comes in many forms. It'll come in the sense of, let's say, compliments, or let's say you achieve something, right? You probably gain validation for yourself. So it is in our nature to want validation, and it's a pretty normal thing. Everybody wants it. Everybody, it's not bad to want it, and it's not bad to receive it. Validation actually sometimes connects us as people. We release dopamine and oxytocin. Dopamine being the brain's reward neurotransmitter, and oxytocin is actually known as the bonding hormone, which we release when, let's say, we're in a social environment, let's say party, or anything really when we're with other people. So validation is actually a pretty good thing. Now, here's the problem. So when we don't have the validation, let's say from other people or ourselves, we kind of look for it. And when we look for it, we don't really get much. Let's say you are with a group of friends and they're all dressed a certain way. You want to fit in, right? So you dress the same way. And this comes in many forms. It can happen differently. Let's say being in a party and everybody else is drinking, then you're gonna want to drink too, right? We want to fit in, and that's our way of seeking validation from others, seeking approval when we don't have it. So what I've noticed is that we get caught up chasing approval from others when we don't even approve of ourselves. And when we don't approve of ourselves, we look somewhere else because we don't want to feel abandoned. This goes to show that when you care for yourself, even if it's a little bit, it still can impact you. Thing is, everyone experiences self-doubt, right? It's normal. Everyone, no matter who you are, you will experience self-doubt at some point in your life. And the thing is, you have to look within before you look elsewhere. When you look somewhere else, wanting that validation, wanting that approval, you're not going to get much out. I also consumed less consciously and subconsciously. And that goes with social media and really the things that I let get to me. When others used to say something negative about me, I would sometimes believe it. And because I put too much thought into it, I put too much time and effort, is it true? And over time, I stopped caring what anybody thinks. I don't care if you think I look a certain way. I don't care if you think I sound a certain way or dress a certain way, because I don't need that validation from anybody anymore. I learned to be comfortable in my own skin. I've learned to, accept myself. But accepting myself doesn't mean that I'm just going to sit around and let myself be, right? I respect myself enough to, want better for myself. If there's something that I can benefit from, I will go ahead and do it. I actually started reading books about loving yourself, and it's really actually helped because it helped me clear my mind off of the negative thoughts that people, brought onto me. I stopped focusing all of the attention to others' opinions. I shifted it to focusing on myself. What do I want? Do I think I look good? do I approve of myself? I started asking myself those questions, and it impacted me. When you stop caring what others think, and when you stop searching for that validation, it feels so freeing. You sort of project that validation that you have of yourself. You feel very confident, and others actually notice that. So what's actually helped me was journaling, and you'll notice as time goes on that when you journal the littlest things that you're grateful for, you'll also notice that you're also grateful for yourself, right? You're also grateful for the presence of yourself. Therefore, you don't need anybody else. And I really thought about it. I was like, why be busy learning what someone else likes when I can learn what I like? If a certain shirt fits me this way and I like it, but someone else doesn't, I don't really care. And that's the way you got to look at it. It's your opinion versus others. If you want to feel that way, if you feel comfortable that way, stay like that. And you honestly got to respect yourself as well as taking care of yourself. Don't switch for nobody. Don't stop taking care of yourself for someone else. The thing that's helped me was getting rid of friends that didn't really benefit me, and content creators as well as watching social media. Anything that didn't really benefit me or harmed that relationship with myself, and wanting to seek that validation from someone else or needing it, that's what I cut off completely. If I felt like I needed that, I cut it off. And it's really helped me, honestly, because it helped me focus on my own self. It helped me direct all of the attention to my own stuff, my own hobbies, my own stuff that I like. And that's the mindset that I would really like you to have, because it's your life. Nobody else has to teach you how to direct it, right? You're the writer of your own book. You write the next page, you write the next word. So someone else doesn't have to do that for you, and they for sure don't have the right to do that. And last thing I want to say is be comfortable with your own self. When you learn to be comfortable with your own self, it becomes so much easier to love yourself the way you are. It becomes so much easier to not seek validation from anybody. A couple years ago, I remember I would always seek attention because I felt like I wanted to be noticed, right? And when I didn't feel that way, I kept seeking, and instead I harmed myself, and I dig myself into a much deeper hole. And what I had learned along the way was that I had lost myself. I didn't know who I was. I was so busy trying to be this ideal person for someone else. And along the way, you just lose that. You just lose that self-trust. You lose that relationship with yourself. So my advice to you is keep the people who benefit you close. Cut off all the stuff that makes you feel insecure or makes you feel like you're not enough, because you are. You just need to feel like it, right? And the way to feel like it is to validate yourself. So make sure to take care of yourself, make sure to love yourself, and most certainly don't change for anybody. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this video helped you in any sort of way. And if it did, let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.